and also supports the AWS community one way or the other in their cloud journeys. I am an ambassador with Google Women Tech Makers and also founded Women of Color Tech Connects in Munich. I've moved out of Munich. I'm no longer in Munich, but we still hold our events and support women who are trying to find their path in tech or transition into tech. Part of my cloud journey has been completing all the AWS certifications, which I think gives me the the honors to answer questions people may have around AWS certifications, how important it is, how difficult it is, how useful it may or may not be in your cloud careers. And that's why certifications are part of what we'll be talking about today. So yes, I would be sharing anything that I have from my little insight and experiences that I have gotten. They may be short, but I think they are very deep, and I hope you can stay with me to the very end. So getting started, cloud technology. We talk about cloud every time. I don't know the distribution of all the people here. Maybe I had some of the introductions in the beginning, but we are so much more than when we started. But oh, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think most people that you are seeing here are, is it that they are tech experts as well, they are tech enthusiasts, or they are beginners in tech.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So I think there's no way you'll be working in tech today that you wouldn't come across cloud one way or the other. Either you are the developer and the product is going to be deployed in the cloud, or you are facing the challenges of the things not working well and you're getting recommendations, just try it in the cloud, or even AI, and then you're like cloud ops, ML ops, everything ops. And virtually, when you're talking of improvement, optimizing, and all of that these days, you hear the word cloud in it. And I think that summarizes essentially what you can get from moving to the cloud or dabbling in the cloud. It improves the results that you would get at a fraction of the cost that it would take you to try to build those things yourself. You are using really expensive servers. Did I just stop sharing my screen?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I would just reshare it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine you having to build all the things that we are using in the cloud in AWS platforms by yourself. It's going to cost you a lot of money. Just just the Graviton chip or something will cost you a lot of money to develop. So yes, cloud technology essentially provides scalability and all of that without you having to spend the money it would take to research it and make it happen. Now, back here. So cloud computing, like I mentioned, allows you to use other people's computers to do your own work without having to buy those computers, and generally divided into public, private, and hybrid clouds. I am focusing on public cloud. Public cloud, AWS, Google, Microsoft, they are public cloud providers, yes, and they are the three hyperscalers. They're not the only cloud providers, but I generally tend to talk about the three of them because except you are working in the cloud provider company of the other cloud providers, I wouldn't advise you to spend your time learning to work with those cloud services because they're not yet widely adopted and will limit your opportunities in the cloud space. So yes, these are things we've talked about. And now about the career path that we talked about in the beginning. This works for those that are already on their cloud career journey and want to maybe make changes or find where next to put their feet. But best, I would say, if you are starting your career journey and just making the right choices right from the beginning. I tell people, know what you want before you get into it, because if you go with the flow every time, everything looks like it, every destination looks like where you're going. Know yourself, your interests, your skills, and then it will help you to choose where you want to be. You'll see why I'm saying this like later in the slides. So identifying your interests can make or break your journey, like if you identify your interests properly or not. Imagine finding yourself in a consulting role and you really don't like talking with customers at all, or you don't want anything to do with, discussing about the problems and all that. You just want someone to tell you, like, okay, this is what I want you to build, and then you build it. You cannot go anywhere as a consultant like that. There are different areas that you can focus on in the cloud space, yes. And I implore you to, do your due diligence, look at the different roles and what it is like working in those roles before you jump at it. Because cloud consulting, cloud architecting, cloud engineering, everything might just seem like, oh, I have cloud skills, I'm going into it. No, not everything is it. You might be an architect that doesn't build or implement the architectures that you design. Or you might be an engineer that actually implements without having to architect them. I mean, there's a huge I mean, not so huge, maybe not so huge, but there's a lot of different places that you can fit in based on what you are interested in. So yes, knowing yourself is very important before picking something. And apart from this general cloud this, cloud that, you can also have the more specialized ones like data engineer, networking engineer, and like all those more niche, yeah, this niche roles that focus on like depth on particular skills. So identify your interests. And then I also wanted to add this slide, like some essential skills for beginners that could help you to stand out very quickly. It's not only about knowing the theory of AWS or Google or Microsoft and just going through certifications and all that, but also your problem solving abilities and understanding networking fundamentals. If you're going to be working in the cloud space, you need to know how things move in the cloud space. You need to understand, I mean, different cloud providers. My expertise is in AWS, yes, but I've worked with Google Cloud and maybe a little bit of Microsoft Azure before. But I would say that a lot of concepts are transferable in these different cloud providers. But the way traffic moves in each of them, I think I would say is quite unique to them. Like you need to understand the global what do you call this thing, the global cloud ecosystem for each of them. Like AWS, you have your regions, you have your there are some services that are global, some services are regional only, some of them can use VPC endpoints, some of them cannot. I'm just giving these examples. Like understanding these things help you to be a better problem solver. Sometimes you're able to debug without even opening your console because you have put in the due diligence to understanding the fundamentals of how the cloud space or the environments that you work with on a daily basis, like it's mapped out. And particularly getting into the cloud is not just a one-track thing. I like to look at it like two sides. Either you are focusing on the infrastructure or you're focusing on the development side of things. So are you someone that wants to work more with the infrastructure, like managing infrastructure in the cloud, like knowing how to deploy this infrastructure, pipelines for them and all that? Sounds more like DevOps-ish things, but that's another story because I think DevOps is more than just like infrastructure related things, yeah. But do you find yourself more on the infra side or on the development side of things? Do you want to be a cloud engineer? Do you want to be a cloud consultant? Do you want to be a cloud architect? A lot of these things will still depend on whether you see yourself more on the infra side or you see yourself more on the dev side. Dev side being you build cloud native applications, yes, but you don't concern yourself with deploying all the infrastructure, the services and resources in the cloud, but you know very well how to integrate these cloud services into your applications. They are all cloud skills, but they will lead you down different paths in your career. So identifying where you want to be also is part of, this is also part of it, yes. And now AWS certifications. I put this May in capital letter and in a different color to make it stand out, that AWS certifications is not always the way. It's like, it's not a 100% yes answer that I would give you for every situation you are in. It depends on the path you choose. And that path can lead you to different companies, different kind of companies. And that determines how important AWS certifications would be for you to, become an expert in your chosen career path. So yeah, AWS certifications, they're divided into 4 different types. I would say professional and specialty levels are kind of like on the same level, but different focus. Like specialty focus on like industry specific knowledge, or I say domain specific knowledge, like specialist in security, specialist in machine learning or something like that. While the professional, I would say, is still the high level ones, but more on your experience with AWS in general, not particularly outside like AWS space. But yes, there are different levels, and you may want to get some of them and not all of them. But I mean, just know what you are going for, and it can help you decide which certifications you need, or if you want to go for all of them like I did. So yes, becoming an AWS expert, I always say if you want to follow the certifications journey to qualify your skills in AWS, then you want to start from the cloud practitioner and then go through the role-based ones that fit your path, like maybe solutions architect or DevOps engineer. These are 2 professional ones. But for these professional ones, if you take your time to look at the AWS structure, they have dependencies that you want to clear before you get to them. So it's just like milestones that you use to check off how ready you are for this particular DevOps professional role or solutions architect professional role or something. So you can use that as a guide in your journey, but only if you go with it all the way, like all the hands-on practice, labs, everything that you need to do for you to say, yes, it really validates my skills in this area. And yes, that's a picture of me at AWS reInvent last year. Opportunities in the cloud industry, I say, I mentioned earlier that your choices, your interests can say a lot in the kind of companies that you end up in or that it leads you to in the end. So I would mention 4 of them particularly. The industry specific sectors, that's where you see like healthcare, banking, or maybe oil and gas, like those companies that have their own focus. They're not tech companies, yes, but they have tech departments that they need to build things that like what do they call this thing? They build the solutions that power like the rest of the company. You can find yourself in that kind of role. You can find yourself in a product-based company that has their own tech products on they build applications on Apple Store or Play Store. They have their own tech focused solutions, AI company and stuff. Like you can find yourself there. You can find yourself in this cloud providers, like working with AWS or Google or something, like building the cloud solutions that we are trying to use. Or you can find yourself with a consulting firm. All of them are different, and the way certifications would matter in every of those career paths are totally different. If you're working in AWS, you're expected to have some certifications, not all of them. It's also part of your onboarding journey when you join AWS to get some certifications if you don't already have them. If you're joining a consulting firm, you have higher chances of getting selected if you have certifications, or you get a higher chance of being retained when they are letting people go if you have more certifications, because it also validates the company's expertise to their clients. So understanding the kind of industry or the kind of roles that you want to work in can determine what is important or what you should prioritize in your journey. And that also includes the community programs. If you're in consulting, you also want to prioritize community programs because it also validates your company's position, like as an AWS partner, as a leading consulting firm on these topics, because you post your knowledge publicly, you write articles, or like you start to be known as an authority in that space, and that's a plus for your company. Yes. So yes, all these things definitely contribute to your career, but don't prioritize them when they are not part of the path that you want to follow in your career, depending on the kind of companies you want to work in, like I mentioned. There are 4 community programs. I wouldn't spend too much time talking on them, but they are the AWS community builders. Anyone can apply to this one, but you need proof of community contributions in terms of public postings or like speaking at conferences or like any kind of community contributions. The applications open once a year, and there's a lot of benefits for for this, including $500 per year in AWS credits to, I don't know, do your stuff, free certification exams, and like there's a lot of support, swag items, and yeah, discounts for tickets to AWS events and all things. There is the AWS Heroes program. This one is selections only. You don't apply for this. This is selected and you must be nominated by some like AWS internal people, basically. There's a whole process. But it's based on your contributions to community also. So imagine being an AWS community builder for a while and contributing like depth of technical expertise, your depth of technical expertise to the AWS community. You get seen and you get invited to the AWS Heroes program. There is the user group leads, so you can start an AWS user group in your community and you join the AWS user group leads, and there's support for you from AWS, and you get access to, of course, the network of other user group leads and AWS staff that, I don't know, support you, I would say. Then there's the other one that's for students. Okay, I didn't add that here, but that's the AWS Cloud Club Captains. So you can start a cloud club in your school and you are an AWS Cloud Club Captain, and you have access to other incentives and things that help your career also. Funding and grants. I'm just going to talk about these two sides. There are fundings and grants you can get from AWS, even if you are not trying to start working on AWS stuff like professionally, maybe you want to start your business and all that. There's still things you can get to promote your, I don't know, your career or your business in AWS. Moving to the cloud, or you already have your business in the cloud, there are still opportunities for you. The AWS All Builders Welcome Grants is for underrepresented groups in tech, and it's fully funded. Trip to AWS University Las Vegas annually. I don't know if anyone here has been an AWS All Builders Welcome Grant recipient before, but this is very good for beginners. You should go for it, apply for it if you are able to in your first 5 years of your career, and you would have access to different people and different calibers of people that probably would not have been able to meet without having access to such events. Then there is the part of the AWS funding. So you want to speak with an AWS partner on the opportunities that exist for your business use case. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, yes. But without doing that, there are some that I can tell you, like off the top of my head. If you go for AWS Well Architected Review and you're able to complete at least 45% of the remediations, you are entitled to $5,000 from AWS. I mean, I say entitled, but I mean, AWS says they would give you $5,000. I have helped people to get it, like through consulting, of course, but you need to follow all the instructions and be eligible to receive that. You can get $300 in AWS credits when you open a new AWS account, and then you submit the application form on what's your business idea or use case you want to implement is. And then the other one too for startups is also something you need to submit, but your startup needs to be created within the last 10 years or so. But these are things that you can apply for and get funding from AWS to build your AWS projects like in your life. So I think that's been a lot of sharing, and I hope that it has been useful to you somehow in your own journey. Questions?
Yes. This is quite very interesting topic. Most especially for me, because I recently just had my professional AWS certification, and I never heard about AWS Cloud Builders, or what do you call it?
Community builders.
Community builders. It's quite very interesting to hear something like this. Before we open the floor for questions, I'm sure the audience also have questions to ask. I have a very interesting question. You made mention about three. You talked about future of cloud. You said there is infrastructure part and the developer part. And we know now that the DevOps has actually bridged the gap in between the infrastructure and the developer part. What do you recommend to people that just want to join? They just want to build their career in IT. Do they focus more on the infrastructure, or focus more on the developer part, or just try to jump into the in between, which is the DevOps?
Like for me now, I'm DevOps. I can do both dev and infrastructure. But if the person that is joining already has some form of programming experience, then maybe they can just go more into the dev, like add the cloud native applications to their portfolio. Or if they're trying to just choose from the beginning, I would say go for the infrastructure side, because I think it's not as saturated yet. That's my thoughts right now. I think it's not as saturated yet, and it's definitely very useful skills that that you won't regret having.
All right, thank you. So let's open the floor for questions. Any questions from the audience? Jimmy, you have
that would be me.
Yeah.
Good evening. You can hear me, right, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I can.
So I did hear you say when you were introducing yourself that you are 24 and already a consultant for AWS. And I'm really curious, at what time and how long did it take you to get to this level?
Okay.
How long did it take you, and when did you get into this industry to be a consultant already?
Okay, so I don't work in AWS. Actually, I work with an AWS partner, but yes, I still consult on AWS topics. I started consulting before I moved to focus on DevOps and AWS. I was consulting on like development of applications as my last company, or last two companies, I would say. And I had some consulting experience that I could transfer. Then I started in DevOps. I was trying to get a job as a solutions architect, but I learned that I wasn't yet ready for that kind of role. So my team lead prepared me to go from a junior consultant into a mid-level consultant. That's it right now. And currently being prepared for a senior consultant role for next year, I think. But I don't like to look at it like a timeline. I moved to Germany 2021, and all of the things I said just now happened between 2021 and now. I think it's just the depths that you are ready to go and the extra steps you're ready to take. I knew that you need to go beyond your resume to convince people that you know what you're doing. So I put my thoughts out there in like articles on LinkedIn or speaking at conferences, and my then supervisor that interviewed me told me that he actually read my article. And yeah, I think those extra things can really make a difference for you.
Okay.
Wow, but still pretty impressive. Congratulations, and really keep it up. We don't have a lot of us at this age already in this level. Like, it's really inspiring to see. Thanks a lot. Danke.
Okay. Next person, Victor Akinola.
Yeah, I can see that you like speaking very much, and you said you're a consultant. The question I have is in the German space, how much of German do you need as a consultant?
Not so much, I guess, because I already know that my German is actually just A2 level. I'm still learning, but I joined a company that has like English. We have German and English customers, and I get scheduled or put on English projects with English speaking customers. So it's not necessary to learn German.
Thank you.
Okay. Next person, Temitope Amao.
Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you for the presentation. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I just have kind of like, it's a combination of a question and a remark, sort of, so to speak. So my question is, because so many people are interested in cloud, because it's kind of like right now a buzzword, so to speak. Like, but the thing is, there are diverse responsibilities as far as cloud space is concerned. I think you mentioned something about the dev side, the infrastructure side, and the consulting side, the architecture side. I would just want to maybe briefly kind of give a brief description about responsibilities of this set of profession, because I believe that I hope I'm not asking too much, so to speak, because the reason why I'm saying that is people get confused about where exactly to get in when they want to go into cloud. Because, for example, the work of a DevOps engineer might be different from the work of a cloud engineer, which is also different from a job of a cloud architect, and also maybe a cloud sales engineer and stuff like that, because they are diverse profession responsibilities, and people are kind of like, this is exactly because from what you said that you have to know what you're doing, and you have to, from the onset, you have to know what you want so that you can just go all in right from the start. So I kind of like want you to highlight the responsibilities of maybe few of them for us. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll try to take the most popular ones. So yes, I'll start with DevOps engineer. I mean, you see DevOps engineer in the cloud, not because you need a DevOps engineer in the cloud, but because a DevOps engineer should actually always recommend you to use the cloud, because we are all in improvement and all that. So for DevOps engineer, I would say like it's not about deploying infrastructure only or writing pipelines on all, but identifying the areas that need improvements in the company. Like you just basically an advocate of like DevOps principles and methodologies, improving, finding ways to actually like connect all the silos in your company, and essentially improving, continuous improvements and all of that in the company. So you need to understand all the tools that you need to make that happen. You need to understand all the changes that need to be made to make that happen. And if you find yourself as a DevOps engineer that always has to be fixing the same pipeline every time, I think you're not doing your job well. You need to be building more things, yeah? So that's DevOps engineering. Cloud engineer should be able to build cloud native applications. You are not exactly concerned with deploying the infrastructure side of it, because you're not an architect. You're not designing the resources or the solutions that need to be deployed. But as a cloud engineer, you are building applications, cloud applications that work with those resources. So you need to be able to connect to your database, connect like queuing systems, connect like all these cloud native solutions that you want to integrate to your applications. You should be able to build that. So like a software engineer with expertise in cloud, kind of. And then you see a cloud architect, you should be able to design solutions. So I'm telling you, oh, this is the problem we're having. We want to build something that works with this. As a cloud architect, I know all the cloud solutions, like all the cloud. Yes, you should know. That's what they test in the cloud architecture exams. Like you should know the services, what they do, their limits, their quotas, and how you can plug them together to make them work. So you are drawing, you are designing, basically an architect drawing the plan, an engineer implementing the plan. Like think of it like that. And I've said those are the most popular ones. Is there any popular one I left out? Yes, so there's some that work across different boards. As an application developer, you should be able to integrate security, yes. But you see a security engineer that specializes in security and also cloud security. That's more niche. Like I said, networking engineer is more niche. Like you can implement networking outside of the cloud space. But for you to be a cloud networking engineer, you should be very familiar with networking in the cloud space too, like connecting from your local data centers via cloud direct connect to the cloud ecosystem and all that. So there are some niche ones like security engineer, networking engineer, or data engineer and stuff. But those ones, if you say cloud data engineer, has expertise also in building those solutions in the cloud space. But yes, like these are some of them, the rules, and you can look more into them and find the ones that work best for you.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to comment on because you asked that do we have additional areas? The data analysts, I mean, data engineers also talked about it.
Yes.
So something people are also looking to.
And data engineer is also different from machine learning engineer.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the machine learning engineering, it's quite I could say it's quite erupting. And yeah, for people that really want to look into the future, you want to be like a prompt engineer, you want to look into this direction of AI, artificial intelligence, and stuff like that. So yeah. Okay, finally, I think we have a last question from John Robert.
Yeah, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, thanks so much for the presentation. So actually, I've done a couple of the certifications, so a couple on AWS, couple in Google, and a couple in Microsoft. And also, formerly, I was also in this community build that I mentioned previously. But the only one, you're also talking about the machine learning things, but that's not what I want to talk about. No problem about that. But because I do both data engineering and machine learning because I build your product. But my question is more for you mentioned something about this 5,000 thing or some, so from what you said, so you're a consultant, more like, I don't know if you know companies like Reply and all these companies that you're consulting for other companies. So something like that. That's what you are, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But there's something you mentioned I wanted, because you say you've tried and helped someone get it before. So I wanted to know, so more like for the startup thing. So I wanted to know if you said it has to be like 10 years old and a couple of things like that. So I wanted to just know if you can point out maybe some resources, or at least maybe we can on how someone can secure something like that and also what kind of what are the requirements for that? So
I will drop a link in this chat. Like the one of the 1,000 to 100,000 is AWS Activate. You can apply for it. You don't need to go through a consultant for this, I believe. But there are some other programs that you need to go through, like a consultant, like the AWS MAP, or like larger scale ones that AWS technical account managers have to manage, maintain, and all that. But yes, this you can check it. The well-architected review, you need to go through an AWS partner actually, because I've conducted well-architected reviews, and we recommend the remediations of the high-risk items to you. You have to fix this, and then when we update it that, okay, you have fixed the high-risk items, at least half of them that we found, then AWS would credit the $5,000 to the account that we submit to them. So we have to submit this through the opportunities platform, like with AWS.
Yeah, so you can't do that alone. I mean, you can't do that personally, right?
No, you can't.
I can't.
You need to go through partners. Yeah, for the well-architected review remediation.
Yeah, so that's actually what I'm thinking of, because generally, I mean, 1K in cloud service, but sometimes that is gone already. So I need something that is more, something more. Yeah, and
yeah, you can try the AWS Activate. That's up to 100,000.
So, okay, pretty good. Yeah, thanks so much. That's what I wanted to confirm how to go around that.
Okay.
All right. Yes. Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for coming. One more thing I need to tell you. Some of our members are asking for your contact. Maybe you could drop your LinkedIn so that they can follow you and be your connect.
Yeah, I just dropped my LinkedIn. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Yes, we're moving on to the next presenter. Our presenter is going to be talking about how to get hired in tech world. I'm sure this is quite very interesting especially for people, even people that are new in tech, and also people that are already in tech, because you will probably want to also change your career at one point. So you should be able to follow this particular presenter. I think she has a lot of experience in this. So Fehisha Yoade, you're welcome.
Thank you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Fehisha.
Okay, and can you see my screen properly?
Yes, we can see your screen. Yes, perfect.
All right, and is it showing like on the full screen, just to be sure?
Now it's showing the full screen.
Okay, it's been a while since I used Google Meet. All right, so good afternoon, everybody. Maybe just a little bit about me. My name is Faye Shayo. I came to Germany in 2019 for my master's in IBM, so International Business Management. And before coming to Germany, I've already started working as an HR in Nigeria. And then on getting to Germany, I started my journey into HR. Worked as a L&D, so learning and development, then moved into recruiting, and now I'm still in recruiting, or maybe not really into tech recruiting anymore, but still do a bit of that. Some technical recruiting, but not the tech one that we all, have been using the buzzword now. I'm an executive search consultant. In layman terms, I hiring or speaking with people or recruiting people that are leading a team, leading an organization, leading a region of an organization, handling P&Ls and stuff like that. So these are kind of people that I get to speak with on a daily basis. And I also get to recruit for my clients, which are my firms. And so basically that's it about me. So now moving into the next one. So when you are getting into tech, and you want to try to break into the market, I would say, just like as Elizabeth said previously, get to know yourself first, understand what interests you, because to be honest, you can't be jumping on every bandwagon, on every market trend. Oh, today cloud is the one everyone is doing, I want to do cloud. Or tomorrow, this is what everybody's doing, data, this is what I want to do. No, you have to know yourself, know what really really interests you. This would help you to really navigate and understand what you need to get for the role that interests you, right? So once you've made up your mind on what particular thing is really interesting to you, or what particular role or career path that you see yourself really doing in the next, I don't know, 20 years, for example, or 10 years, then try to really get the skills that is required to succeed in this field of yours. So for example, if you say, oh, full stack is what is interesting to me, then I would advise at first, just go through a couple of job descriptions on LinkedIn, on Indeed, on Stepstone, just to really understand the market and really see, oh, what kind of skills are they saying is mandatory to have, and what kind of skills are they saying is nice to have, right? This would make you really understand, okay, do I need to know how to use C++? Do I need to know how to use Angular? Is it TypeScript or JavaScript? Is it CSS, etc., right? This way you are able to really decide what type of skill you need for the type of career path you decide to go with, right? And so also, for example, if you are starting already, you've made up your mind that, oh, I want to become a full stack engineer, and then tomorrow someone else is talking about, oh, data analysis is the way forward, it's quite easy, blah blah blah. I would say still stick to your path. Don't jump the gun, like really just stick to it, because I've seen candidates that are sending their CVs over or even applying to roles and are having it gets confusing for us recruiters, because I don't want to be seeing you doing 10 different things and not really having a career path, and then in the end you're having maybe 1 year experience in full stack, next one you're having another 1 year in data. Like, it's confusing. Just continue with your career path and really stick to it. So the next thing I would say when you are really trying to get into tech and get hired is your CV. Now, in the next slide, I will still show a couple of two CV examples, but I would say I've seen the worst of the worst of the worst CVs. I know that people like to use this buzz thing around, saying, oh yeah, keep your CV to just 1 page. I would disagree with that, because if you have very little experience, then 1 page should be fine. This little experience means maybe you have just working student experience, you have just internship experience, you have just what other experience again? For example, 1 year or 2 years in the same company, or 3 years in the same company. This is definitely fine. You can have just 1 page of CV. But if you've had 5 years of experience in different companies, and these 5 years are relevant for the job, please stick to relevant for the job, because sometimes once you've already stayed 5 years, 10 years, 6 years in a particular role, or you have 10 years of experience already, I would say you can now begin to leave out your I don't know, work student experience, your internship experience, and really leave just the ones that are very relevant to the job. And on your CV, it's important that you put the data, number, and facts. It's not nice to receive a CV that doesn't have numbers. Naturally, we humans are very driven to numbers. If you write down, for example, 100% in words and you write it down in numbers, just by yourself, practice which one would your eyes go to naturally first. It's definitely the ones in numbers. Or if you see a billboard with an advert and then maybe they're writing there, oh, 200 with letters, your mind will probably not go there. But if you see 200, like your mind is immediately going, oh, that's 200. What are you talking about 200? That is the way the mind works. So just being able to captivate, because in all honesty, as a recruiter, we receive thousands of CVs every day for jobs that people are applying to. Giving an example, I posted a job for a role, and in 48 hours, I had over 1,400 applications, and I had to go through them. Now, imagine going through so many CVs and so many words. I really don't have time to really sit down and read through the CVs. I have just 5 seconds to glance through and see, is this a CV that I'm interested in spending my extra 2 minutes on, or is this already a no? And I can already move on. So please, I cannot emphasize on how important it is to really have a very good CV. Now, I don't know what's happening. Okay. Now, can you see the CV very well? Please, someone just confirm. I cannot
Yes.
really see.
Yes,
Okay,
we can
good.
see.
As you can see, this CV here, this is a very bad CV. And I will tell you why. Now, looking at the professional summary, yes, it's correct. This is meant where it's meant to be. However, there is no number there. Collaborative, ambitious, problem solver, blah, blah, blah. This is just too much story for me. It's not giving me anything I want. If I go through this CV and I'm looking for a social media, maybe manager, for example, and I'm looking at this CV, the first paragraph is not telling me anything about this person as a social media manager, right? Now, looking at it as well, there are no spaces between, for example, I don't know if you can see my mouse. Can you see my cursor?
No.
No, okay. So if you look at in between the end of the last line for summary and then where there is education, there is no space. Skills and coursework, there is no space. Like everything is so jam-packed, even between the how is it pronounced, the experiences, the professional experiences, it's
Mhm.
so jam-packed that there is no space. And I'm sure this person is just trying to keep it to one page, because
Yeah.
everything here is one page, and now this CV becomes useless because I'm not really getting any information from this CV. The only thing that my eyes is drawn to here is the 193%. Now I want to know what is 193%. However, the rest of the CV doesn't look so interesting to me, and I've already passed. Sorry?
Sorry, Isha, can you just, I think you can actually point to where people can see that if you go left down on your cursor, you can see one pen. You can click on it, then you
Yes.
can be
Okay.
able to point it to people. I
Yes.
think
Okay.
this is something very, very sensitive for especially people that are looking for jobs
Okay.
in
No worries. Is it working now? Can you see it now?
are you able to point on the screen already?
Yes, I'm using pen. Oh,
I think you should click.
Yes, yes, it's working now.
okay,
I can
but
see
it's
the
clicked the wrong one.
It's for annotating.
Sorry?
Like it's for marking on the screen.
Ah, okay. So I need to
yeah, maybe you can go back there and see something else.
maybe laser pointing. Can you see this one
Yes,
now?
correct.
Okay,
That's
good. All right. So as you can see, right, the spacing between this here is not good. It's too jam-packed, right? This one also it's too jam-packed. This one also it's too jam-packed. Now, looking at this experience here, it's jam-packed. However, just looking at the CV, the first things I'm seeing there are numbers. Like this place, for example, 193. As a recruiter, I'm kind of curious to know, oh, what was 193%? What was she able to achieve as 193%? Now I'm interested to read and see what is there, right? However, every other thing on the CV is already a waste of time for me, and I'm not going to put in more than 5 seconds on this CV. I probably would have already rejected this person, even though this person is right for the job. But try to understand that recruiters rejecting you doesn't mean you're not right for the job. It's just because maybe your CV is very bad. And like I said, I had over 1,000 applications, and based on for us in my company, for example, we like to prioritize candidates' experience, right? So I don't want you to wait 2 weeks for you to get a response. Either you're moving forward or you're being rejected. Now I'm having time constraints because in between screening CVs, I'm doing interviews, I'm having client meetings, I'm scheduling, I'm doing other admin stuffs, I'm posting jobs. So 5 seconds is all I have for you. If you cannot captivate me in 5 seconds, I'm gone. So also, after summary, I should not be reading what you schooled. Honestly, people don't care about what your education background is. Maybe later, after reading your experience, oh, this person has this experience. Oh, but then the hiring manager really wants someone that has a master's degree. This is when then I'm going to check, do you have a master's degree or not, right? So if you don't have, then that's not a problem. And well, that's a problem, then I get to reject you, right? But at the same time, that is not what comes first. Now, looking at this next slide, I don't know, sorry, just a minute. Okay. So looking at this next slide, you can already tell the difference, right? Just let us look at this professional profile already, summary or profile. You can already tell that this person is a software tester, even without reading the whole of the CV. I can tell she has 10 years of experience. I can tell that she uses C++. I can tell that she uses Java, PHP, SQL, Python, blah, blah, blah. If this is what I'm already looking for, maybe I need someone that has all of these programming languages. I'm already intrigued. She already has me for 2 minutes. Now I'm going through the CV. Oh, I can see she did outline what the role is about. She works with system engineers, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. She listed her key responsibilities, as you can see here. Good. And now she came to her key achievements, which is what I would go to as a recruiter. I want to see what your key achievements are. Remember, I said that on your CV, data, number, facts. These are the 3 most important things here. Not you having a CV like a job description. The one we saw previously, so maybe I can go back to it. This one is more like a job description. It's like somebody saying, oh, you will manage social media accounts, you would edit and upload videos, and then you now copy it and paste on your CV and now change it like, oh, I managed. This is a job description. I'm not here to look at a job description. So going back to this other CV, yeah, as you can see, a key achievement. She's writing there. She was effectively reviewing 400 plus users interfaces. She's able to develop 240 plus projects. She helped 15 team members. You know, even in this other one here, she's telling me she created 400 plus plans that increased testing and QA efficiency by 40%. I'm like, oh wow, this person might be good. Okay, I want to speak with her. She might not even have everything I'm looking for here, but just these things, because these numbers are there, she's able to measure. This tells me that she's a data-driven person. This tells me that she's someone that is able to really reflect on herself and understand what is needed. And she's someone that really understands what KPIs are, and she's able to really meet a target and understand what the target is. This tells me that she might be good for the role. I've not spoken with her yet, but I'm looking at them like, oh wow, good. She might be good for the role. And as you can see here, for example, her experience as a junior software engineer, she did not put anything there because she already has much more years of experience for roles that are much more relevant, and she left it out. However, she still listed it there so that I'm aware that, oh, she has actually worked in University of London as a junior software engineer. Now I know that for fact. So I would say that for a CV, the best format to use is your profile summary. So your professional summary is to have your experience next. That's what the recruiter wants to see. Then after that, you could have your skills, right? Then after your skills, you could have your education, right? And after education, you could have the languages. Please, if you don't speak German fluently, like I would say up to B2, you can keep it out of your CV. Unless the role says a little bit of German is needed, that you can include B1 in your CV or A2 in your CV. But if you don't speak fluent German, keep it out of your CV so that you don't then get interviews and then you get there and then the recruiter is speaking German to you and you're confused. So try to really, really make sure that you're keeping it, clean. And for example, where she did put in our core skills here, this is really nice. I would, after this presentation, I would share a link to a website on the chat where you can use this link to create CVs. So it's like an AI tool, but not really an AI tool, because you still need to put in all of your data in there yourself and your experiences. However, it will create a very clean template for you, something like this. So the template is not all over the place. It's not having very jammed up CV and, you know, not nice CV basically. So I will drop that in the chat afterwards. Please remind me, and then I'm able to really put put that in the chat. All right, so that's it on CV. I would say the next thing, just as Elizabeth said, about when she was looking for a job, she was writing on LinkedIn. Now, this is someone's LinkedIn. I don't remember whose it was. It was just a random person. But as a recruiter, I'm searching for someone that maybe a data scientist, for example. Now, I'm coming to this profile. He has 2 years of data science. Yes, but I cannot really tell what he has been doing in the role. What has he been able to achieve? I could reach out to him or her, but it's not my priority right now because I'm not sure what this person has. This person has little to no information for me on their LinkedIn page. So if your LinkedIn page looks like this, I would say you are not on the right path if you are looking for a job. If you're not looking for a job, it's fine. You can keep it as simple as this. But if you are actively looking for a job, please put in more information on things that you've done, on your experiences at the past. Write a bit of a summary. So for example, if we are to go to this next one now, as you can see, there is an about. This is the about summary part. This person is already telling me she's a data scientist. She has over 8 years of experience in software development, data analysis, and machine learning. She has been able to develop AI-driven solutions. I'm already like into this profile. Yes, okay, now I think this person is someone that is going to be very proactive and going to be a good cultural fit, and you know, is very self-driven. And now I want to speak to the person. Now I slide down to the rest of the profile. I'm saying, oh, this person works at PayPal. Okay, this is what this person has done at PayPal. Or they've been able to build a model, they've been able to implement the revenue risk. Oh, this seems more like what I'm looking for. Then I'm able to already reach out to this person proactively, right? So it's important that you are able to have information on your LinkedIn page and don't leave it empty. If possible, key achievements with numbers on your LinkedIn page. This makes you very much more visible to recruiters that are searching for candidates on LinkedIn. Try to put in their keywords, try to put in their your skills, programming languages that you use, all of these things, put them in there, put them in your LinkedIn. And also, like Elizabeth said, try to post stuffs, right? So if you have that, maybe you're creating dashboard, all of these things, show it, put it on LinkedIn. This doesn't mean that you post it today, a recruiter will reach out to you tomorrow. No, sometimes these things take a lot of time, right, for them to actually, for recruiters to actually see your profile and want to reach out to you. So but just doing all of these things is like you putting little drops of water that would someday have become like a big ocean, right? So post on LinkedIn, be very active on LinkedIn, have your own I don't know, maybe if you like to write article, if you want to build stuff, have your own portfolio, stuff like this, but just really put them there and link this to your LinkedIn page so that when a recruiter or an hiring manager sometimes might even be going through your LinkedIn page, they're able to easily just click this and move on, and and they're able to reach out to you. So now coming to the next slide would be, after we've done all of these things, now we've acquired the right skills, now we've worked on our CV, we've worked on our LinkedIn page. The next thing will be, how do I find the right job, right? Now I would say LinkedIn, beyond just using LinkedIn for LinkedIn jobs, if you go to your search bar on LinkedIn and you type in there, for example, hiring data science, it will bring out people that have posted stuffs about hiring data scientists, for example, right? The only downside to this might be that you're not able to really filter by location, but at least based on your interaction with LinkedIn, for example, with me, if I type that in, I'm seeing stuffs from like India, from the US. These are because of recent I'm working on projects that are in these different regions. So these are the things I've been interacting with on LinkedIn. So I guess it should be able to give you results in Germany, if I'm not mistaken. And then you are able to see people that are hiring, because not everyone can afford to post on LinkedIn jobs, because it's expensive to actually post on LinkedIn jobs. So some people just instead utilize their resources and post on their own LinkedIn page by themselves, like, hey, my team is hiring for a data science for a data scientist, or my team is hiring for a full stack engineer, whatever. This way people are beginning to like, it's going from first, second, third. So you can even start from your first. When you type that into your LinkedIn search, you can even start from your first connection, and then can go to your second, to your third, and then can go to everyone, and then just put in like post and stuffs like that. This way you're able to see jobs that are not even on your LinkedIn job page, and also but people that are actually hiring. Now, secondly, is the job boards, so the regular job boards. But I would say sometimes as well we can miss some jobs. So there is an Excel sheet that I would share later on, I think, on the group chat, because I need to look for it. It's been a while since I've used it. That Excel sheet, you just need to put in there your job title, you need to put there the location, if I remember correctly, and a couple of other details. And then it goes to search for you on job boards, and then there are links to these different job boards and stuff. Then you could just click on it, and then you are beginning to see jobs and stuffs like that. So because sometimes I would say actually 50% of jobs are not posted. For example, as an executive search consultant, my role that I'm working on right now, I think about 2 of them are confidential, so they're not even posted on any job boards or anything. It's very confidential. It's just me and my team and the client that knows that they're hiring for this role, but nobody else knows. So some roles are very confidential, and that brings me to saying also messaging the managers. Now, check for companies that you think you have interest in working in. Oh, I want to work at PwC. Who is the manager in PwC that I can reach out to? Maybe I'm a data scientist. Who is the head of data science there? Create a very nice message. Hi, my name is Faye. I'm a data scientist. I have 10 years of experience as a data scientist. I've done this, da. And just in case you are looking for someone to join your team, here is my CV. Because sometimes maybe the role is just something that they begin to discuss internally. Oh, we need a new data scientist that will be able to manage this part. Now they're not yet done discussing it. However, you are already on this manager's radar, right? And they see, oh, maybe this is the person that we're missing in our team. They're able to reach out to you. It doesn't mean that it works all of the time. You might reach out to 100 managers and you only get 2 responses. However, I would say it's something that you should still try. Reach out to the managers, but please don't go bombarding after messaging the first time, messaging the second time. I would say don't even message the second time unless you get a response. So don't go bombarding saying hello, hi. Please keep it very professional. Lastly is interview preparation. I don't know why this is sorry, the slide is not working so well, but I would say before you go into the interview, regardless of if the recruiter reaches out to you or not, make your research about the company. Now, why do I want to work in this company? If a recruiter reaches out to you, you can definitely say, no, I'm not interested in working for this company. However, I would say that you should, if you say, okay, yes, I want to do interview, please prepare, understand why you have interest in working for this company, and also understand why you want to leave your company. Because if they ask you, oh, so what is missing right now at Deloitte, for example, why do you want to come join us at PwC? And I say, oh, actually, no, you reached out to me. I really don't want to join you at PwC. This already tells me, okay, then you are not even motivated. I just want to reject you at this point. There's nothing there. But make your research, understand, oh, I love Deloitte because they have bigger projects. I don't know. But don't go in there and start saying bigger bonuses. This already tells them that you're very financially, your motivation is finance, right? But at the same time, still keep it very professional. Now, also make sure that you are having very precise communication. Don't go into your interview and then they ask you, oh, can you walk me through your CV? And then you take that literally, and they are walking the person from, oh, actually, I did my primary school in 1999, and then I started my secondary school in this, I did that. Please keep that out. Walk me through your CV. Go very high detail. or in 2000 was when I started my career as a junior software engineer. Then I climbed up the ladder and I was here, blah, 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 blah. Simple, and keep it clean. Very precise. When they ask you questions, try to also include data, number, facts, right? Data, number, facts. Don't just go about, talking for very long. You'll be surprised that you think people that are like managing directors, that are like CEOs, always crush interviews. No, because I had a candidate that they said, walk me through your CV just last week, and he spent about 20 minutes talking about his CV. That's already like a red flag for the person that's speaking with you. This person is not able to read the room, right? So also learn to use the STAR method. So understand the situation and stuff before you are able to answer questions, right? And just keeping to the time, some talk faster. Prepare your questions. Now understand, is my interview for 30 minutes? Okay, if it's 30 minutes, if the recruiter will speak to me for 20 minutes and I have 10 minutes for my questions, what are the priorities for me, just in case this recruiter, we run ahead of time and then we have just 2 minutes for questions? What's my priority? These top 2 questions, are these the key ones for me to get answers to today, or I could do them some other time, right? And then understand the stage. There are different stages of interview, as we all know. So the recruiter stage, know what kind of questions this recruiter would ask you. Recruiter will probably just come and ask you, okay, so can you maybe tell me, you said you used Python when you were in this place, can you tell me a bit about what you did there? And it's just very surface. So understand that a recruiter will not dig deep, and then understand that the next stage might be with the hiring manager, whereby they would dig deeper. So you need to really prepare deeper. And then I would say the thought, and then also understand the technical part. This one, you should prepare for the technical part and understand that you are probably coding and doing all of these things. So really prepare for each stage according to the way, the stage the stage that you are going to be interviewed for. And so I think that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I hope I was able to keep the time. And thank you. Do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you very much. I think we've heard a lot. We have so many people that already raised their hands up.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I would stop. I would go out of the full screen just so I'm able to see you guys as well.
Yes.
But yeah. Okay.
So let's start from Igbo Ibegu. Your question.
Okay. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Faye.
Hi, Chibo.
So I have a question. So I have been in a situation where I was invited for an interview, but it was a dinner interview. So, and you were given a blank check to order anything you want. So my question is, yes, we're given can you just order anything you want, or maybe you can just lay low and try to pretend that you don't eat well? Maybe you don't eat too much. Like how can you handle that kind of situation? That's great. Thank you.
I would say thank you, Chick, but that's not an interesting one. But I would say try to really read the room, right? That's what I said. It's very important that you are able to read the room. Now, this depends on the kind of, role that you are applying for or the situation that it is. But I would say that try to read the room, keep it minimal. They might be wanting to look out to see how minimal you are as a human being, right? And see, oh, this person is going to be a leader. How is he really able to manage himself by himself, right? Are you managing P&L, for example? Are you what is the situation? This way they're able to really access and see, okay, this person is very good at reading the room and understanding the situation. So, but that's an interesting one. But I'll say if you're hungry, you should eat actually as much as you want.
If you are hungry, they told you already, you should eat. Okay, the next person, Ola Sunkami Adeniji.
Hi, Faye.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, you might not remember me, but I know you very well.
I do from LinkedIn.
Yeah. Quick one. You showed a sample CV with pictures. I have like a reservation, or I have a question regarding pictures and CV, and I think this is a subtle way for some HR recruiter to just reject I mean, I might be wrong because I've actually had to meet a couple of HR, and they were like, no, it's actually not really important for you to add CVs and to add pictures to your CV. You know, some HR might just use this as a red flag to like, okay, no, 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 we don't want this people or this nationality, just like their own way of let's say segregating, you know. And what's your opinion about that? I have like a lot of questions, but maybe I'll just keep it short. Second one, cover letter. Cover letter now these days, AI is everywhere. We are using deep chat GPT, deeply DeepSeek, cloud AI to write our CV letter. Is it really important? Do you guys read CV and cover letters? Thirdly, I had couple of rejections. I mean, I'm working already, but I mean, it's really interesting that you see company telling you that you're overqualified. It's it brings a lot of questions because I've faced a lot of rejection in Germany. Overqualified, underqualified. We are sorry, your working student does not count. You don't take responsibility. We are sorry, it doesn't count. Your internship, yeah, it's good that you hire some internship, right? But we are sorry, we need somebody who has like 2 years working experience. And you go to the market when you start looking for a job, they say, okay, we are looking for a junior, blah blah blah, and they tell you, yeah, we need somebody with 2 years working experience. Heck, who is a junior with a 2 years experience? 2 years experience should be someone like in the let's say mid-level, you know, executive or something like that. So maybe this I have a lot, but maybe these three quick questions you can actually use it to clarify the air. You know,
Yeah.
I would really appreciate.
Okay, thank you, Sukomi. So I would say in regards to the picture in the CV, it's not mandatory, right? Like you said, some recruiters are probably racist, and not don't let me use the word racist, but some recruiters might just not want to move forward with um certain nationalities due to certain things. So, giving an example, I've gotten, or yeah, in the past, I've had to reject a particular nationality because the hiring manager said to me, the previous person that was working in this role was this nationality and it didn't perform. And also, based on cultural fit, we think that nationality is not a fit. And for this reason, Faye, please keep anyone from this nationality. So not just even picture, even the name sometimes already gives the way, oh, this person is from this nationality, then you have to reject, right? Or if, for example, there is a startup company, there are maybe 100 people in this company, and they've now hired, I don't know, 70 Nigerians. There is no diversity there. Going forward, it could be we don't want any more Nigerians. Now we need to start hiring people from other nationality. So just looking at you, you're a Nigerian, they need to be rejected because every company is trying to preach diversity. So having already out of 100 employees, 70 Nigerians, they believe that there is already some form of there is a word they call it, I've forgotten the word now, the English word has failed me, but there is some of, you know, you're already forming some form of yeah, mini country, like I've forgotten the English word, but yeah, there's some form of caucus, yes, thank you, in the company while you are there, which could be very dangerous. And for this reason, they already say, okay, you know what, regardless of the owner even being Nigerian, for example, they already say, you know what, no more Nigerian. We have to move to the next one. So picture, I would say, also sometimes it could be a disadvantage or in terms of this lady looking at her picture, she's probably in her late 30s, early 40s. This role, we want someone that could grow in this role and would actually become like the managing director. Give or take, this person would need 10 years in the company. Do we see her? Does she have 10 years more to spend? I'm already judging based on the picture like that. Oh, then also, apart from that, something else is going to the education. Oh, she finished school in 2024, or she entered school in 2014. How old would she be then if she entered junior at the age of 18 and she finished at the age of 24? I'm doing some math to really see, because some hiring manager says, hey, we want someone that is very agile, so we want someone between the age of 30 to 35. I have to try, even though I cannot legally ask you how old are you, I have to still try. So if you can keep out your picture, fine. If not, it's still okay. If they have preference and you don't have your picture, I would say this could only take you through the door, right? And then if they already say no Nigerian, for example, and they speak with and they already say, oh, this person is a Nigerian, in the end you still get rejected. So I would say I'm indifferent about having pictures in CV, to be honest, but the ball is really in your court for that one. Cover letter, Personally, I don't read cover letter because I believe that everyone just comes and give me some lamba on the cover letter. That's why I don't read it. All I do is I just read your CV. Is your CV good enough? Do you have what I'm looking for? Do you have the experience? Good. If not, then I move on. Because like you said, everyone can go and use ChatGPT, DeepSeek, whatever. And this was in the past. Now I'm working with, like I said, managing directors, regional directors. They don't have time to do no cover letter. So it's just CV. I think the higher you're getting your career, the more people are not asking for cover letters anymore. Cover letter maybe when you're doing working student or internship, but I think after that, nobody really cares about cover letter, and I personally don't read it. About being overqualified, I would say that yes, it's possible. So if the company already has, for example, I've had an experience with in the past as well where it was a project I was working on that the person was very qualified. We knew he was good. I presented him to the client. The client knew he was good. However, the hiring manager was not able to tell me why she was rejecting him. And she just said, okay, you know what? The country where this person is residing, we're taking it out. We don't want to hire in this country anymore. So there was a day that the hiring manager wasn't there, but the HR was there. And the HR said to us, that person is really good. We could have hired him. However, he is more qualified than the hiring manager. Now there would be definitely friction there because he's too qualified, and the person you are reporting to, you are already I was once told that at Travanto. Okay, I really don't know which one. Maybe is it the same example about being more qualified than the manager? So sometimes when you are already overqualified, might be the situation. Okay, overqualified might be the situation that the hiring manager is not even as qualified as you are. So just to avoid conflict, friction in the team, it's best they leave you out and they don't actually hire you, right? So that might be the situation why you are told that you're overqualified. Or if based on the rest of the, because everything really has to do with balancing in terms of salary. If for example you are even just having 2 years of experience, but in your previous company or in your current company you're earning, I don't know, on 50K, and then you are now looking for a job in this next company, and then actually in that next company they are paying 50K to someone that has 4 years experience, right? Already they already have a band that they can pay you. So this might be the reason why they say you are overqualified. So yeah, I hope I was able to answer your questions, Sukomi.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
so very much, Faye, for that insight, explanation and detailed explanation. I really appreciate.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're moving on to next question. Question from Damilola Omoyiwola. You have the floor.
Good evening. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
So Olasekun has already asked one of my questions, which is important, and I have maybe 3 questions kind of just intertwined, majorly on the CV or resume. So I want to ask concerning the German language. You mentioned that if you are not fluent, you shouldn't add it to your CV, but if you are asked, if it's required, kind of that you can add it. So I want to know, even if sometimes it's not required, but perhaps you might want to know what level, maybe at least you are doing something, you are trying. So when should we now add that to the CV? That's number one. Then number two, I'm a student here, and myself and a few students that had some conversations with, we've had issues with recruiters or maybe companies telling us that because we don't have any job experience in Germany, so we cannot consider you. I don't know how, because that sounds so discouraging, because I'm just coming in and you want me to have experience in Germany before you can hire me. So it means all of my years of experience is just a waste. That is that one. So I don't know how valid that could be, or I don't know. Then the other part of it is not having enough qualification. I think sometimes last year I wanted to apply for a working student role, and they mentioned between 2 to 3 years of experience. And of course, I was fit, but unfortunately, they told me I did not have enough qualification. I don't know, like, how did they determine some of these things before they even respond?
All
Thank you.
right. Okay, thank you. So, the first one you were asking me is in terms of the German language, right? So, like I said, for the German language, you can put it in there if you are fluent and if they ask you for it, right? Because you don't want to put in there saying, "Hey, I speak German language" in my CV, and then you have the recruiter coming to you and already starting, "Hello, alles gut," blah blah blah, and you're like, "Woof, I cannot really speak German. Let's take it easy." But if in the job description, if they put in there fluency in English and maybe a bit of German, please put your German in your CV, right? Put in there German B1, A2, whatever the situation is, right? Put it in there. But I would say that don't um don't put in B2 if you cannot speak B2. Don't put your real level, right? So if you say, "Hey, I still want to put it in there," please feel free. It's not something that they can reject you for. I'm just saying that because you might then have the recruiter read it wrong and come in there and prepare to speak with you in German. So that is why I was talking about the German language. And the second question I think you said was in terms of the experience for working student role. I would say that, for example, using myself as I came here also as a student, my first job, not the lager job, for example, but the first official job that I did, I worked for free, right? Because I knew that I wanted to break into the market and it was quite difficult. I don't speak fluent German. There's only so much job that I could do. And it wasn't even an HR role. It was actually a marketing role where I was editing videos. I was editing stuffs for Instagram, posts for Instagram and stuff like that. So I was doing like social media marketing. So I worked for free. If you can get an internship that is unpaid in Germany, I would say do it. And because when I did this, I realized that there was a difference in recruiters now wanting to speak with me when they see that on my CV that I actually do have this German experience. Just me putting Germany there was already a bit of a change. So if you are in that field where already you're getting recruiters saying, "Hey, we cannot hire you because you don't have any experience in Germany," look for unpaid internships. These ones will take you. And because it's unpaid, the maximum they would ask you to do is 20 hours in a week. So that's what I would say in regards to that one. Please take some unpaid internship. And yeah, I think the last question you asked was in terms of getting rejected even though you had the qualification. I'm not sure what field you are in, right? But at the same time, some managers are saying we want someone that already has the experience working in Germany because of the German culture. Everyone here that works can attest to the fact that it's different working in Nigeria from working in Germany. I'm sure everyone that's on this call that is working in the office can really tell you that it's different working in Germany from working in Nigeria. So some companies are like, we don't want someone who doesn't already understand the culture. We want someone that already has this German experience. And that's why they keep saying German experience, because things are being done a bit different. So maybe this is why they're saying that, yeah, even though you're qualified, they cannot still hire you. So this could also be another situation there. But I would say try to get an unpaid internship. It's not nice because you have bills to pay, but the maximum they could ask you for is 20 hours. You could do it for 3 months just to have this on your CV. And then while you start your unpaid internship, 2 months into your unpaid internship, start shooting out your CVs and start applying for jobs. And just lastly, someone asked already for the link in the chat for the CV link. For some reason, I'm not able to copy, I think because I'm sharing my screen. So I'll just stop presenting and I'm able to copy and paste it to the chat. But yeah, so I hope I was able to answer your question, Dami.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
I think so. The next person, Samuel Anama. Then I'll go lastly for Sakirudina Kinkumi. Samuel Anama, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Okay.
can. Good evening.
Yep. Good evening. I have a question. You talked about facts and numbers when being written on the CV. As an engineer, How does fact and numbers come to play in our series?
Okay. So I would say, for example, I don't know what kind of let me just quickly maybe look up a job description as for engineering, because it's been a while since I've worked on this kind of roles, so I need to know
Okay.
what kind of
For
thing.
example,
Mm-hmm.
let's say somebody works as a DevOps engineer, as a cloud engineer, as a system
Mm-hmm.
administrator, IT support. Those are just instances of the jobs I'm talking about.
Okay, so for example, as an IT support person, you're able to already tell, I close, I don't know, 20 tickets per month. I'm able to in a month I do 20 or maybe 12 how do they call this thing again, 12 analysis or something like that. Just putting number to it, analyzing, think about it yourself, sit down and really reflect that, okay, in a month, how many people come to me for, I don't know, oh, I need to create, I cannot access cloud, I cannot access this, how am I able to access it? You're able to really put together, oh, I'm able to solve 20% of the tickets that I'm having, or in terms of cloud, I'm able to set up 12 computers in a month. Just this kind of things is able to put number for you in your mind, right? So it's not really yeah, for example, last week you just dropped an example. I was able to optimize CI/CD pipeline and reduce the time code gets to production by 35%. So just sit down and really reflect, write down the job description that you're currently doing and try to measure it, right? So if you have, I don't know, 100 per month and you're able to really do, or the productivity increased by, I don't know, 50, try to put that in number and measure it, right? This really makes it very attractive for recruiters to see, wow, this person is data driven, than just copying and pasting job description in your CV.
Thank you very much, Feishayo. This is quite very interactive. So the last person, because we are running out of time, Sakiruddin Akikomi.
Yeah, hello.
Hi,
Yeah.
Sakiru.
I even tried to drop my hand a couple of times, but I think I should just ask because my questions related to previous questions, but kind of different in a way. So somebody that is currently in a different career and has a lot of academic qualification or qualifications, and is trying to switch into, say, data role or something without experience. Do you have any tips for someone like that?
I would say put in there your portfolio, right? So for example, if you're a data person, you're trying to build pipelines, do free projects. Go to I've forgotten what these websites are called, where you can actually just do free projects for their website names, but it's not coming to my mind right now.
Or is it
Sorry?
Kaggle or what is it?
Yeah, Upwork, all of these things. Go on these websites, do projects for people, put this in your CV. These are ways that I can already tell, oh, this person maybe doesn't have. But bear in mind, with this kind of thing, you cannot be applying for a senior role or a junior role, or like you can be applying for an entry role, right? So like a junior role, but you cannot apply for a senior role. It's also important that you're able to really self-reflect and see, oh, with this my experience, do I really think I'm a senior person or an entry person? So copy. Try to do all of these things on, for example, with the Upwork, try to go on there, do a couple of projects that you can do on there, put them on your CV, analyze what you're able to do by number and put it there. You can even put it there as job, as, I don't know, software engineer, company name, Upwork. Now put your key achievements, right? And then put a summary, freelancer on Upwork, blah, 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 blah. They're able to already see, oh, this person actually was, I don't know, a social media marketer before, but now we're switching into tech. And yeah, this is how far they've been able to go. I hope I was able to answer your question, sir.
Yeah, you really answered the question. But just the point I want to make is like applying for entry role with a PhD will lead to the problem of overqualification that people have mentioned before. So that's one of the issues.
It depends, right? So for example, given this kind of situation where you are, if you ask me, don't put Dr. Sakuruddin on your CV. This already tells me, wow, this person is arrogant, right? So you can maybe leave it out because you are the one that you're begging for something at this point. So you have to be made humble. So you, if possible, leave out your PhD degree. Nobody will, I don't know. People hardly ask for degrees in Germany.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
should I remove it on my CV as well, like that degree? Or
yes, if you feel comfortable removing it, you can remove it. This is because you are trying to you have to be humble now, because everyone is trying to get yourself into the door first, right? And you can talk about it definitely during the interview. Oh, I actually have my PhD in blah 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 blah. But we're trying to get through the door first, and then at least during the interview you will talk about salaries, right? So try to understand then this place they can really see, oh, it's not maybe overqualified or is fitting into the band, right? So yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, somebody said something that makes that I think I agree with. Elizabeth said, I think you can also draw numbers and experience from your PhD research period in your resume if it aligns. Yes. So if what you did your PhD in is something that you are now is the career path that you're trying to follow now, then definitely please do add that. But if it's something totally different, like you said, you're just trying to navigate your way into the tech world, then maybe leave it out and just try to do those freelance stuff from Upwork, for example.
Okay, thank you all.
You're welcome. And just quickly, I also dropped the link now in the chat, already in the chat. I hope you guys can see it and you have access to it. And yeah.
Yes, I think I will drop it again for everyone to see it, but we'll also share it inside our IT Gurus WhatsApp group.
Okay.
It has been very, very interactive session for today, and I really, really appreciate Elizabeth and Feishayo for joining today, and of course my colleagues also Julius Apple. Thank you very much to each and everyone that joined us today. This is a way we can give back to our society. This is a way we can say we are helping each other as an Africans in the diaspora. And I also want to extend my appreciation to my co-colleague Sheyi. Sheyi might not be here, but he has also been a very good member of the IT Guru, and also to everyone that is also participating in the support of the IT Guru, especially people that have questions, that have worries, that have issues in IT. I want to say thank you very much for your support. On to the next one. Please watch out for the next IT Guru Tech Meetup Phase 7. And I hope we are all going to be there. Please invite everybody that you think they want to join the group. We are growing. We are almost 500 members right now. And I think we are still going to keep on growing. So thank you very much, and do have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye for now.
Cheers.
Cheers.